What's up, guys? Mike in the building. Hope you guys had a great day. Definitely a late review. A super busy day for me. Gonna be a busy week, right? Spring break with the kids. So I'm going to actually going on a little vacay coming up here soon. So I want to go over a couple of names. I'm actually going to start with the TPHS short that I took. I thought this was a phenomenal short. I thought it was a phenomenal return. I did not catch the whole move down here. Didn't get any of those end of day covers or anything like that. I had a big PT for this actually re-breaking back down for 23s, and then I got some covers into 21. I did short this 950 candle. Okay, this was a stock that was trading over here above the 200s and started to flag. Okay, was kind of flagging on the 5 a little bit. This is not the prettiest flag at all. Definitely wouldn't say that at all. This thing did an aggressive push, and I'll show you in the book real quick. All right, this did an aggressive push, aggressive swipe up. The stock had over 2 million in that 1 minute candle, and then it started to stall. Now remember, this is the DX feed on the book. All right, so you gotta have your level 2 up to kind of help guide you with what's going on. Okay, ARCA was on that book pretty heavy. They had about a 30-40K ask sitting right over here in this price range. Once I saw that there was no bid follow-up support on this, I started to accumulate short. This was SSR, so I was throwing up blocks and people were buying them, and I was getting filled short. I didn't want to get any slippage like that or anything like that, so I kind of spread them apart in this range right here, and I started to get filled. Once I saw that right here and no follow through with this level 2 over here cranking, and they had a big ask and they were shoving that seller down, and we were up roughly 230%. In my head I'm thinking like everyone thinks there's going to be another verb, a stock that's up this much, and then it's going to start squeezing, go to 400 or 500%, and that definitely was not the case. Right? If you then now let me kind of just going over a couple of trades. After that, you're going to start seeing how this thing literally repeated the way it was auctioning its price. Every bounce it did, buyers just kept getting absorbed with no follow through. They were throwing in some spoof orders or spoof asks and then pulling them, and then you can see how controlled this is. And even when buyers were trying to step up, there was no follow through, and all this thing did for the remainder of the day was put in lower highs, lower highs, and lower highs. You can see how they were continually to walk down these offers and control the direction of this price action. All right, this happened throughout the whole day. Now, I got my covers at 23 and 21. All right, so I did not hold for that big crack. I did start covering once this price action right here happened, and then I ran out of shares. What are you gonna do? That was a great return though. It was like 38, 39% on that one. I thought this was phenomenal. I always love when TOS has some shorts, locates or whatever. So that was great. That was the reason why I took that short again. We had an aggressive push up, 2.5 mil or 2.6 mil on a 1 minute candle. Then it started to stall, and then there was aggressive seller, and then with the book, I used the book to help guide me, and then started to see that there is no support. And as you can see, this huge, sharp crack breakdown right here started to consolidate, and we just started to retrace and look for those liquidity magnets down there, and you can kind of see how this control is happening on the book. All right, that's what kept me inside the trade. I thought that was a great short. Got a great return on that one. Verb was quick. Verb did not work. Okay, this is where I went long down here. There's actually a bidder. Let's bring this book down. All right, there was a bidder down here, roughly about 80,000 shares, or it kept changing. Okay, 1 second, but here, give me a second. There's a bidder down in 58. there's something that again, I actually talked with Bruce. This was an area, once I saw this seller kind of dump right here, and then there was some seller exhaustion. This is a key area to retest on this bounce. So I went long on this, and not only was this a great spot to me to go long on Verb, right down, that was day 1. Day 2, this is a nice little pivot right here, and pre-market right here. So we, aggressively squeezed, and then we dumped, and we consolidated and didn't break down. So that was the area that I went long in. And then once I saw this area right here, once I saw this area here get retested, and then if you see the book right here and your level 2, have your level 2 up, we were pretty thin on all the way back up to 70s. Okay, so the book was pretty thin. We just needed to see some buyers step up and some continuation. They did have some small spoof bids, and you'll be able to see this, as it starts to go. You can see down here too, they actually threw a 30K bid that helped crank this up. And retail traders, they're going to see that and they're going to slap. So that's nice when there's continuation and they keep throwing these bids. You'll be able to see them, how the algo is trading with this, right? And then it starts to squeeze, and there's a little book flip right here. This is really good to see when you see an offer at 64s, and then a book flip came in on there at 64s, and you're going to start seeing price action potentially to continue back to the upside. So that was a great one. And unfortunately, all it did was just put in a lower high right here on the daily. 64 cents was just a pivot. That's honestly, remove that. That doesn't matter. Okay. That was a Verb trade. I really thought we were going to squeeze out, potentially make new highs on the daily. I'm kind of retrace this, but to me, this is just a lower high back into the 200s, 200 SMA, and then a fail, and then just pretty much more liquidation. It was just a great opportunity to just liquidate all the way back down. I wish I would have shorted this one too, but I could not short it on TOS. I would have flipped, 100% flipped on that one. Okay, that was Verb. LICY, shout out to Blue Moon in the room. He put this one on the map. I thought this one was phenomenal. All right, this was a great daily. All right, this was kind of a daily that was flagging. It gapped up, and then had like this low volume consolidation on the daily, and then it actually picked up with some volume and broke out. It had a window gap to test. That was the PT. That was a crazy PT. All right, there was a beautiful window gap right here. Okay, that was major PT, and I'm glad I took profits because glad I took some profits right there on that one, because it like dumped pretty hard after it tested that, but it's still holding up. So keep this one on watch for continuation, because it did, pretty much algo. I think the algo is on this one on the book. Yeah. Real quick too, the reason why I took it based off the book was once this actually broke out, it pulled back. It set up like a 5-minute. It wasn't the prettiest 5-minute flag, but this pulled back over a previous area of interest and did not break down, and nor was it getting heavy on the book, or was like a backside book, or or the book changed character and they started having a lot more offers than they did bids. All right, sometimes you're not going to have a lot of bids on the book, so have your level 2 open. There might be ARCA, different exchanges that you're not going to see in the DX feed. Help crank this up, right? As long as there's... Alright, I'll blow this up. Give me 2 more minutes, okay? 2 more minutes. As long as there's not an aggressive seller on the best bid, you're on camera, okay? You better calm down. I'm not doing this over again. Whew. Okay. We are bringing an entertainment. 1 second. Brought to you live by Mikey Underdog. Okay. As long as there's not an aggressive seller on the book, and you're going to see this, more appetite on the best bid, and we're hovering over a previous area of interest. And I'll even show you what it looks like on this setup right here. So this was that 5-minute setup where, yes, it dumped, but there was no follow through, and then there was this nice stair step down with volume divergence. Volume divergence is when you see this stair step down, and then again it starts to change and you start to see a stair step back up. So you got a volume divergence right here. I thought that was a great one, and then I was looking for that gap fill on that one. So that was a great trade. Kind of just grabbed a core and wanted to see it fill its gap, and that was a trade on that one. So I thought that was a great daily setup. That's the power of a daily. Keep this one on watch for tomorrow because we did close pretty high, and maybe we get a nice little pullback on this one and then continuation for more gap fill. Let's see what else. STI wasn't bad. Unfortunately, this one didn't really work too well either. I got in this one pretty late though. It was crazy today. I was kind of all over, not all over the place, but I was in like 5 different trades at once. So, I really had to focus. But once I saw this one right here on the book kind of not break down, I wish I would have got some early soaks like this. To me, this would have been a better add spot. You can clearly see where there's support and no breakdown on this one. However, I did add in this consolidation area right here. I missed this soak right here, and if I would have saw this absorption, I probably would have added even into this and maybe even risk these 3s on this one. The cool part about this is once this area of the breakdown gets retested and it's not getting heavy, it's one of the reasons why I added. And then there's even more confirmation, as you can see right here against 315s, is once this started to crank, they actually threw up a bigger bidder right here, 42,000, and you can see how that pretty much initiated a little bit of that move right there, and we started to take off, break out. We consolidated over this previous area of interest right here, and then when it went to go make new highs. Now, this is what you don't want to see. All right, you don't want to see this type of action where it breaks out and now it's flagging, pops up, and now it's flagging sideways and there's no bid support. So this needed to go. What STI did, I'll show you here on the chart. What this did was just do a micro clear out of pre-market highs right here. Okay, so that was a micro clear out, and then I'll show you over here on the one. This is where it flagged. So that's what it looked like on the book, right? So the best thing about the book is when you have your level 2, the book, time and sales, and you're kind of putting everything together, volume, pattern, recognizing patterns, recognition. This whole pocket right here was empty. So there was no support. So, yeah, this looks like a nice flag. It's low volume, a low VPA pullback, but it did not break out. And then you can see how heavy it actually started to get with all these offers above that. And then there's just pretty much no appetite on the best offer versus there was more appetite on the best bids. You can kind of start seeing them come in and get aggressive, right? And then starts to put in some lower highs and then starts to actually break down on this one. Okay, so this one broke down. Okay, this is really good. All right, how much? We are 14 minutes. Okay, when I see a seller break down right here and then this level gets retested, where buyers they try. So this is a previous area of interest breaking down and getting retested and no follow through, and then it just puts down another leg. That was like an example of another name I showed you in the very beginning where that level got retested and then it broke out. So that was a good seller being absorbed, sellers getting exhausted, and then continuation back to the upside. But right here it did the complete opposite. Sellers sellers are in control. You see some absorption. It retests these areas. They throw a bid right here, but then you see what they do. They pull it. All right, so someone did throw a little bid, 11,000 shares right here, and then it starts to thin out. Now we got 8,000, and now they pull it, and now price action starts to come right here, and then now you're seeing right here a book flip, right? So we're coming in right here. We have this little 11K bid, and then as soon as that best bid comes in, there's a book flip right here. We're at 328. They throw in about 13,000, not including what you're seeing on Arca and on other exchanges. But so that's nice little price action controlled right there, and then you can start seeing it just starts really coming in. So, you know, that was the outcome of that one. But all right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Just wanted to just try to show you a couple names. I'm gonna go put little man to sleep. uh, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Peace out.